Alright, we finna check out a video from Introvert Rockstar. It's about the situation that took place in Minnesota with the ICE agent deleting the young white woman. Let's check it out and get into it.
And we are diving into more details of newly obtained cell phone video taken by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency involved in the deadly shooting of Renee Nicole over Minneapolis. It reportedly shows a different angle of that encounter and the moments leading up to Wednesday's deadly shooting. As the FBI investigation gets underway, protests and vigils were also held across the city. We have the very latest tonight from Minneapolis. Newly released cell phone video obtained by CBS News appears to show the ICE agent's point of view and what are likely Renee Good's last words.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
That's Good inside the SUV and her wife outside the vehicle talking to the ICE officer before the shooting.
Go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out the car.
Another officer orders Good out of the SUV, and she starts to drive. On Friday, Minnesota prosecutor Mary Moriarty asked the public for any video or other evidence in the fatal shooting.
One thing about it, if a cop ever stands in front of your car, he's doing it so so you press the gas a little bit, he's gonna shoot you. That's why they do that. They want to be able to say they use their car as a weapon and I fear for my life. So if you over in your driver's seat and your car is in gear and that cop step his foot just in front of your tire wheel a little bit, he's positioning himself to justifiably shoot you. Know that.
We are concerned that the evidence obtained in an investigation that has only been conducted at the federal level will not be shared with our office for review.
CBS News has confirmed the agent who shot Good is Jonathan Ross, who has worked with ICE in Minnesota for nearly a decade and was involved in another vehicle-related incident last year.
Hold on. Did she just say work with ICE in Minnesota for a decade? Hold on. So the ICE been doing that thing for over a decade now? Hold on.
Level will not be shared with our office for review.
CBS News has confirmed the agent who shot Good is Jonathan Ross, who has worked with ICE in Minnesota for nearly a decade and was involved in another vehicle-related incident last June. Court documents show he was dragged approximately 100 yards with his arm inside a car while trying to execute an immigration warrant. As the investigation continues, protests and vigils for Good were held across the region. Community and faith leaders gathered at the Minnesota State Capitol.
We deserve to feel safe. This is not a political statement. That is a basic human right.
Students attending Minneapolis public schools were not in class Friday, and the school district is now offering families remote learning through mid-February.
We keep us safe. ICE out of our schools, ICE out of Minneapolis, ICE out of Minnesota.
A memorial of flowers and candles continues to grow at the scene of Good's death. Erin Hassanzadeh, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And look, y'all already know on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable because if we don't, who will? And if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get the step. The KKK acted similar to ICE in the sense that both used intimidation and force to control targeted communities, often with little immediate accountability. The KKK terrorized black Americans in plain sight for decades, and critics argue that when ICE operates aggressively, it echoes that history. For many black Americans, the deeper issue is that the country looked away then. Make that make sense. And first of all, rest in peace to this woman because no one deserves to die like that. But for the longest, black Americans have always been at war with this racist system. Our ICE have always been the KKK, FBI, CIA, LAPD. Hell, most of the police departments in this country. Tell me I'm lying. No one cared when Sandra Bland was murdered. No one cared when Sonia Massey was murdered.
Hey, for real though, that Sonia Bland case, that kind of hit me hard right there, man. I think about that case all the time. I probably think about it no more than maybe a week or two ago. It probably maybe even sooner. Like she got a real raw deal how they did her. That cop that pulled her over, man. He was on one that day. He was searching for something. He was picking with her, and you can tell. So And you know he had to be wrong because they made it to where he could never be in law enforcement ever again, nowhere in life. But they let him go. So they didn't admit to any wrongdoing in that case. But the fact that he can't be in law enforcement ever again, that says a lot. They let me know they covering something up, and most likely something he did.
No one cared when Robert Brooks was murdered. No one cared when Ronald Green was murdered. And do y'all remember Philando Castile from Minnesota? He was murdered sitting in his car with his seatbelt on by a Minnesota cop. And the cop got off with it. And nobody cared. But don't worry, we'll talk about him later on in this video. But before I spaz out, in the words of Johnny Gill, my, how the tables have turned. Run the tape.
Really, you fucking punk? That's what you're gonna fucking do? What? You know what the fuck is that is for? What is that for? What is that for? What is that for? You're gonna push me? What is that for? What was that for? You don't give a fuck about her? This is why we're here. This is why we're here.
And look, you already know what I say make that make sense. You got all these local officials on the news trying to sound all tough. They cursing now. All of them cursing. We never heard them curse when they murdered an innocent black man. They always tell us, oh, be patient. Wait for the evidence. We got to be patient and let this play out. What happened to that energy? Now they all on TV cursing. But I told y'all over and over and over again, Caucasian people, they love the propaganda until they become the victim. Check this out. America has always used propaganda on white Americans by shaping fear and loyalty, teaching them who the enemy is and who to trust. Through schools, media, and politics, the United States framed Black Americans as threats while presenting power as protection, keeping many people aligned with systems that didn't truly serve them. Make that make sense. And guess what? Y'all fell for it. I remember when the Nottoway plantations burnt down in Louisiana. Y'all was mad. Caucasian people were mad. Not all y'all, but a lot of y'all was mad because y'all couldn't have weddings on the plantation. The same plantation my ancestors died on. Y'all was mad about that. I remember Daniel Penny. They raised over $4 million to support him after he choked out an innocent black man on a train.
Yeah, come on, y'all. That case right there, they were tripping too. You know, good and damn well, if the roles were reversed, let that be me, a big black man. I would have choked out a frail white boy, the same situation. Man, please, all them white folks have been petitioning for me to go to prison, and I would have went. Come on now. Somebody who was protecting people on the train. Let the roles would have been reversed. A black man would have been in prison. If he just somebody protecting people on the train on this frail white boy with mental issues. Well, we know it's a double standard, you know. That's how they get down. We know that.
I remember Carmelo Anthony in Texas when he was defending himself against twins, and he unalived one of them. It was people.
Now, in that case right there, you know good and damn well, if the video evidence was supported what they were saying, that Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor, that would have been released. But the fact that it hasn't came out, and all hell, it's been about a year now. They don't basically sweep it under the rug. They let you know who was in the wrong. Those twins, those white twins, was in the wrong.
On the internet saying a 17-year-old deserved the death penalty because he was defending himself. I remember Hurricane Katrina. Growing up in Louisiana, I remember the whole country calling my people refugees and saying our people was looting. I remember everybody and their mama on the internet had black fatigue. I remember Charlie.
Yeah, I remember that too. In Louisiana back in 2005, the Hurricane Katrina, on the news, they were showing black people getting stuff. They were saying they were looters, and they were showing the same white people at the same stores, saying they was finding food and supplies. See, words matter. How they label things, that really matters. They said the black people on the news that was getting stuff was looters. And the white people in the same store doing the same exact thing, in the same exact stuff, they were finding supplies that they needed to survive. So you got to watch the word. They know what they're doing with their word.
Everybody, Charlie Kirk, the man who was going around from college to college talking down on black people. In real life, he don't talk to black people. He only got one black friend. That was Candace Owens. He never in the projects. He never in the hood to talk to our people, to try to understand. He just wanted to call debates. He just wanted to call rage amongst people. He really wanted to divide everybody. And y'all supported that. It was people who never talked, Caucasian people who never talked about politics until he died. These people was crying over him, having memorials for this dude. And I can go on and on. Y'all lucky black people don't have cold and hateful hearts, because I remember Renee Good was heard calmly saying, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." In video footage moments before she was shot during an encounter with ICE agents in Minneapolis. The agent fired as Good's vehicle began to move, later claiming self-defense. While critics and local officials argue, the footage raises serious questions about whether lethal force was necessary. Make that make sense. And you see how quickly they can change the whole narrative to fit whatever they got planned, to fit their whole agenda. This woman said, "I'm not mad at you," and she drove off. They called her the B word, and then they popped her. I want y'all to go down my timeline on YouTube. Go down. This is one incident. Every month this happens to our people. Every month this happens to our people, and no one gives a damn. Matter of fact, the body cam footage on her came out the next day or 2 days later. When this happens to our people, we got to wait a month for the body cam footage. We got to wait a year for the body cam footage. Sometimes we never get it. We still fighting for some of these police departments in this country to give us the goddamn video footage. I told y'all, the game is cold. And look, like I said earlier, I don't wish death on to anyone, bro. I don't wish that for nobody. But as Black Americans, we've been trying to warn everybody. So I'm glad this propaganda is being exposed. We tried to warn everybody, but no one want to listen. Every time we talk about our history in this country, every time we talk about the Black American experience in this country, bro, no one wants to listen. They always tell us to shut up. The past is over. Slavery is over. Oh, stop talking about the police and all that. Now look, everyone wants us to march with them. Everyone needs our support. Tell me I'm lying. And y'all already know before.
And it's crazy. Everybody want our support, but ain't nobody there to support us. All these, and with this immigration stuff, you got the Hispanic community talking about where the black people at. With the Ukraine situation, they were talking about where black people at. With Gaza, where the black people at. But when we got a foot up our butt, ain't nobody there to help us. So why would y'all expect help or sympathy in return? That was shocking and crazy to me.
Before I end this video, I have to always speak from the heart. Before I end this video, I have to always speak from my heart. Look, a lot of y'all remember Philando Castile from Minnesota. A Minnesota cop shot him while he was sitting in his car. An innocent black man. So that's why I asked y'all earlier, where was this energy?
Then the crazy part about that Philando Castile, he was a registered gun owner, a legal gun owner, of course. He did everything the right way. And the NRA, National Rifle Association, didn't stand up for him. They never stand up for black people in gun situations, even when black people in the right. So I don't know what, like, when these people think this ain't got nothing to do with race, come on, man. Go in history and look at the NRA. They have never supported black people's gun rights. Never, never, never. They never come up when a black person in the right with a gun situation because they don't want to publicly support black people in gun rights.
From these local officials. They cursing at ICE now. They cursing. They doing all type of stuff. They acting all tough, all big and bad. But when a Minnesota cop shot Philando Castile, they wanted black people to remain calm. They told us to wait till the footage come out. I remember. They told us to be patient. And we saw what we saw. And that cop still got off. That cop still got to celebrate Thanksgiving. That cop still got to celebrate Christmas. That cop still got to celebrate New Year's. But guess what? His mother warned y'all. She told y'all what would happen. 8 years ago, she warned y'all. I'm out. But before I go, I want to tell you,
My son would never jeopardize anyone else's life by trying to pull a gun on an officer and the gun was not fire ready. These are some of the facts that came out in the trial, and I am so very, 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 very disappointed in the system here in the state of Minnesota, because nowhere in the world did you die from being honest and telling the truth. Now, these are some things that you need to know and recognize. There has always been a systemic problem in the state of Minnesota, and me thinking with my common sense that we would get justice in this case, but nevertheless, it never seems to fail us. The system continues to fail Black people, and they will continue to fail you all. Like I said, because this happened with Orlando, when they get done with us, they're coming from you, for you, and all your interracial children. Y'all are next. And you'll be standing up here fighting for justice just as well as I am. I am so disappointed in the state of Minnesota. My son loved this state. He had one tattoo on his body, and it was of the Twin Cities, the state of Minnesota with TC on it. My son loved this city, and this city killed my son, and the murderer gets away. Are you kidding me right now? We're not evolving as a civilization. We're devolving. We have taken steps forward. People have died for us to have these rights, and now we're devolving. We're going back down to 1969. Damn! What is it gonna take? I'm mad as hell right now. Yes, I am. My firstborn one son died here in Minnesota. Under the circumstances, just because he was a police officer, that makes it okay. Oh, now they got free reign. He's found innocent on all counts. He's shot into a car with no regard to human life, and that's okay. Thank you, Minnesota. Thank you, Minnesota. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. That is a damn shame. I remember this speech, but I haven't seen it since like back when it happened. But man, that was powerful, man. Everything she said was true. Everything she said was true. They coming for y'all. Y'all see how they been doing us since forever. Ain't nobody said a word. Ain't nobody said a peep about nothing. But now the tables turn and they getting on y'all ass. And y'all talking about where the Black people at? Nah. Stay over there. Stay over there. Stay over there. I'm gonna put the link to Introvert Rockstar video in the description. Go check them out. Give them a follow. Like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.